Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual you. Today, I would like to speak about the elemental world and the moral world. Now, of course, these can be described and depicted in different practices of spirituality. Taken in the elemental world, you have the pagan or heathen mystery, where everything was the spiritual in nature. And then on the parallel side, we have the Hebrew stream, the ancient Hebrew stream, which was purely in the moral. But none of them were intertwined within each other. It was two separate realms in a sense. When the Christ sacrificed himself on Golgotha, these two realms merged together with each other. Hence also why the demons rebelled. The elemental spirits are in reality demonic beings. By no means are they. If you worship nature, you are going to become possessed in any way. But if you only try to find the spiritual in nature and the human being in nature, you will not find the moral world. The Christ united the moral with nature, with the spiritual. So when you see a plant, a rock, an animal, anything, you feel you can in reality today have moral inclinations and feelings of beauty towards it that in earlier times were not possible if you followed any of the streams really. Because in the ancient Hebrew stream you had everything is manifestations of Yahweh in the moral sense. And in the heathen streams, you have everything is manifestations of nature, including human being. But you won't find the human being in nature today. You will only find the human being when you have taken into consideration the whole of cosmos, including the hierarchy, the spiritual divine hierarchy. And the Christ is the moral human within us. Filling our whole soul, body, and spirit with the Christ allows us to have an empathic, sympathetic, and also understanding, compassionate view of everything around us. From human beings to plants to animals to minerals to insects to planets, you name it. But it is required of us, if we are to truly bring out the moral within us, to unfold it and lift our spirit up to the moral, ethical realm, we will have to acknowledge the Christ and his sacrifice. It is an emanation from him. He lives within everything. So to find him is to find him within us. Remember, many people can see the world very much differently. But finding the moral, now that can only go through one way. Because the moral is a spiritual force. It's a spiritual living thing. A reality. It is not an abstract relative based on where you are, based on which side you're on. No. Killing is killing. Lying is lying. Stealing is stealing. You see? It is about finding that moral force behind everything. By doing and standing to it, feeling pain when you see something ugly, something morally disgusting, and feel joy when you see something morally beautiful in this world, in the social sphere, in nature, interacting with nature, interacting with anything really. It is about being flexible and alive enough within our soul spirit to allow our body to perceive such things and be conscious about it at the same time. Living into these things, we are actively, physically living. If we try to find the answers of the universe by seeing that it is dead, you will only find dead universe. You will find the universal corpse of things. But if you know that the universe is alive, substance changing, forms shaping, movement and will within everything, and trying to find the differentiations, trying to find the different regions of the spiritual world in relation to the physical. Now we cannot stop at only the physical and then fill in the gaps and the holes and say, because of antimatter, things move like this, and because of this force. Come on. Come on, you're just filling in things here. No, finding the living realities behind it. Because it is a hierarchy after all. Every spiritual being has its place here, including us human beings down here on earth, and including evil beings that is challenging the moral and the good. Only by having hindrances can we overcome it and become more loving, nurturing human beings. More often than not, through pain is where you build character. More often than not, through trauma is where you truly can know what a human being is and find the love, the compassion for the world around you, for the people you meet, for anyone truly. Of course, it, as I said, alive flexibility within our discernment, judgment, in our carefulness, prudence, and courage, within our faith, love, and hope, within our thinking, feeling, and willing, knowing that when you think, you have feeling swaying up to the thoughts, and you use your will to think with, and in your feeling you color these feelings with your thoughts, and you are with your will within your feelings when you are perceiving it, when you are experiencing it. And when you are doing a deed, an action, you feel something and you think something about it thereafter. They are intertwining in a living sense within each other. So it is a practice to meditate, to reflect upon these things, and to unite them, to not having either or, because we have had more than enough spiritual guild wars lately, and to truly find what is unifying as a human being from individual to individual. Because if we try to find peace and tranquility within our factions, rather than from our own inner spiritual anchoring of reality, that means you have found out for yourself what reality is, not read in a book somewhere and then archived it in the back of your head. You don't really understand why it is so, but you just believe it is so. Instead, you go into reality yourself like a scientist would and find your own answers to things. The scientific meets the artistic within it, within today's spiritual esoteric practice and development. So, being alive in it, well, it is a grace. Of course, it comes and goes based on our moral disposition. If we are scoundrelous at one time in one period or another, they might retract it for a while, so that you can stew in your own inner being without any inspirations. It does happen. But once you have, well, learned from it, is when they come back and just shower you with inspiration and pictures and imaginations that allows you to grow and to unfold your inner human potential as an individual human being. So, it is very much fun. At the same time, it is a struggle, a deep, profound, foundational human struggle to find what is moral and find what is necessary. And it is not either or, they are both. Your physical body needs to go to the toilet, sleep, eat, and interact socially and so on and so forth. But your inner freedom for interest, your morality, what you stand for, how you feel at certain points, oh, you have a lot of freedom there. It is not about finding and trying to overlap freedom into necessity. It is about finding where does necessity lie and where does freedom lie. Because that is a reality. Remember, there are many things occurring at the same time, and it is based on what lens we see it from. From the phenomenal to the emotional to the logical, many lenses. But it is about how flexible you can be within every one of them and finding that, well, the human being is all of them. It is only a matter of perspective and how flexible you can be within it. Because if you wish to understand someone, you will. It is all about you are willing to understand another human being, putting yourself and your biases aside so you can wholeheartedly listen with your whole being. That is when you are actively, consciously practicing morality and goodness. By having that person, by you putting yourself aside and not having biases or any agendas. You allow that person to bloom, to flourish, to be creative. But you have to allow the space for it. And you can allow the space for yourself too. You don't need others to do that, although it is most optimal if we both do so. So, I will leave you with this today. You beautiful individual, you human being, you. May you be protected, guided, blessed and loved by Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, ancient masters of all, ancestors from every incarnation. Bless. I think I said bless, protect, guide and love you, and may you be safe, and may you grow into your potential and into the path you are meant to take in life. Thank you. Goodbye.